You know grammar. You know vocabulary. You've studied English for years, maybe even decades. But the moment someone looks at you and asks a simple question like, "So, what do you do?" your mind goes completely blank. Not a little quiet, completely blank. Like someone pressed the delete button on your entire brain.
Oh, I know that feeling. My heart used to beat so fast in those moments, I honestly thought people could hear it.
And here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody talks about. It's not because your English is bad. It's because you've been practicing English the wrong way. You've been reading it, writing it, watching it, but not actually speaking it. Not in real time, not under pressure.
And that gap between knowing English and using English in real life, that gap has a name. And today, we're going to talk about how one tool helped us understand why that gap exists and what actually closes it.
So, Hale, let me ask you something. When you were learning English, when did you realize there was a problem?
Honestly, I remember this one job interview, my first one in English. I had prepared everything. I practiced the answers in my head the night before. I knew exactly what I wanted to say. And then the interviewer asked me, "Can you tell me a little about yourself?" And I just froze. Everything I prepared disappeared. I said, I am having good communication skills. And then I stopped.
We've all been there. That moment where your brain just refuses to cooperate.
Exactly. And you know what's the worst part? After the interview, in the cab going home, everything came back. Every sentence I wanted to say was just there, crystal clear. But 30 minutes too late.
That's called elevator brain, by the way, the perfect response that arrives only after the doors close. So I went on this little experiment. I decided to try AI-powered speaking practice tools for 24 hours straight. Not watching videos, not reading articles, actually speaking to an AI and getting real-time feedback.
And I was skeptical, honestly. I thought, how is talking to a computer going to help me talk to people?
That's exactly what I thought. So let me tell you what happened.
Before you get into your experiment, I want to talk about why this problem is so common. Because I don't think it's a language problem at all.
Say more.
Okay, so think about it. Most English learners, especially in India or anywhere where English is a second language, they learn English in classrooms, or from textbooks, or from watching films with subtitles. All of those are passive activities. You're receiving language. You're not producing it.
Right. It's like watching cricket for 10 years and then someone hands you a bat and says, "Play." You understand the game, but your body has never actually done it.
That's a perfect analogy. And the moment someone puts you in a real conversation, especially with a native speaker, or even just in a professional setting, the pressure completely changes your ability to think.
There's actually a term for it, language anxiety. And studies show it's one of the biggest reasons why people plateau. They stop improving, even after years of study. Not because they're not smart, but because they're afraid.
Afraid of making mistakes. Afraid of being judged. Afraid of that terrible silence when you forget a word mid-sentence and everyone is just watching you.
And here's the thing nobody says out loud. Even people who are fluent feel this sometimes. It doesn't completely go away. But what changes is your recovery speed. How fast you get back on track after a moment of panic.
So tell me, the 24 hours, what did you actually do?
Okay, so I used a few different AI speaking tools. Some of them just give you conversation prompts and listen to you speak. Some give you feedback on your pronunciation. Some actually respond to you, like a real conversation partner. And I started with something simple. I just introduced myself. Like, "Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm from Canada. I work in digital marketing." And the AI responded. It asked me follow-up questions, and I had to keep going.
That sounds simple, but that's actually where most people struggle. The follow-up. You can prepare a script, but you can't prepare for where the other person takes the conversation.
Exactly. And what I noticed after about 2 hours was I was getting faster. Not perfect, but faster. The pauses got shorter. The hesitations got smaller because I wasn't afraid of the AI judging me.
That's the key thing, isn't it? Psychological safety. You can make a mistake with an AI and just try again. No embarrassment. No awkward silence.
And by hour 8, I was doing more complex things. I was practicing how to disagree politely, how to ask for clarification without sounding rude, how to buy time in a conversation when you need a second to think.
That buying time skill is underrated. Things like, "That's an interesting point," or "Let me think about that for a moment." Those small phrases make you sound so much more confident and fluent.
And I only started using them naturally after I'd practiced them so many times that they stopped feeling scripted.
So what was the biggest shift after 24 hours?
Honestly, I stopped translating in my head, even a little. I would hear a question and something would just respond, not perfectly, but directly.
That's actually the goal. Not perfection, directness. Speaking from thought to mouth without the detour through your native language.
Okay, we have a challenge for you today, and it's small, but it matters.
Tonight, just tonight, speak to yourself in English for 5 minutes. No audience, no AI even. Just you and your voice.
Talk about your day, what you ate, what annoyed you, what made you smile, in English, out loud.
It doesn't have to be grammatically correct. It doesn't have to be impressive. The only rule is speak. Don't write, don't think. Speak.
And if you want to go one step further, record yourself, even on your phone, and listen back. You will hear things you never noticed before.
That recording is like a mirror for your spoken English. A little uncomfortable, but incredibly powerful.
Let's do a quick recap of what we talked about today.
1. Going blank in English is not about your intelligence or your vocabulary. It's about practice under pressure.
2. Most of us learned English passively, reading, watching, listening. But speaking is an active skill. It needs different training.
3. AI speaking tools can help because they remove the fear of judgment. They give you a safe space to make mistakes and get faster.
4. The goal is not perfection. The goal is directness, thinking in English, not translating into it.
And 5. Your mini challenge. Speak to yourself in English for 5 minutes tonight. Out loud. Just do it.
Now it's vocabulary time, our favorite part.
Today we have 10 intermediate level words connected to our topic. These are words you'll actually use in conversations and professional settings. 1. Plateau. Meaning, to stop improving after a period of progress, a flat stage of development. Example, my English has plateaued. I understand a lot, but I'm not getting better at speaking. Practice question. Have you ever felt your English hit a plateau? What do you think caused it? 2. Fluent. Meaning, able to speak a language easily, smoothly, and confidently. Example, she's not just fluent in English, she thinks and dreams in it. Practice question. What does being fluent mean to you personally? 3. Hesitation. Meaning, a pause or delay before saying or doing something. Example, he answered without any hesitation. It sounded completely natural. Practice question. When do you feel the most hesitation while speaking English? 4. Anxiety. Meaning, a feeling of worry or nervousness, especially about something uncertain. Example, language anxiety stops many people from speaking, even when they know the words. Practice question. Do you feel anxiety when speaking English? In what situations? 5. Clarification. meaning explanation that makes something clearer or easier to understand. Example, could you give me some clarification on what you mean by that? Practice question, how do you politely ask for clarification when you don't understand something? 6. Passive, meaning receiving or absorbing something without actively doing it. Example, watching English films is passive learning. Speaking is active learning. Practice question, how much of your English learning has been passive versus active? 7. Recovery, meaning the process of returning to a normal state after a difficulty. Example, when I forgot a word mid-sentence, my recovery was fast. I used a different word. Practice question, how quickly can you recover when you make a mistake while speaking? Before we go, I want to say something, and I mean it genuinely. The fact that you're here, listening to this, trying to improve, that already puts you ahead of most people. Most people complain about their English. You're doing something about it.
And language learning is slow. It doesn't feel dramatic. You won't wake up one morning and suddenly be fluent. But one day, you'll be in a conversation, and you'll realize you forgot to be nervous.
That moment is coming for you. You just have to keep showing up.
If today's episode helped you even a little, subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment telling us, what is the one English situation where you freeze the most? We read every single comment, and sometimes those comments become our next episode.
Until next time, keep speaking. Keep making mistakes. That's literally what growth sounds like.
See you in the next one.